If you've ever missed someone who hurt you, if you've ever gone back to someone who you knew wasn't safe, if you've ever felt addicted to a relationship that was destroying you, that wasn't weakness, that was a trauma bond. And today we're going to talk about why abuse can feel like love and why leaving can feel like withdrawal.
Welcome back to the Touch My Health podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Katie.
Like Katie said, we are talking about trauma bonds today and really what a trauma bond actually is.
And why it feels like love.
So a trauma bond forms when pain and connection are repeatedly experienced together. The same person who hurt you is also the person that soothes you. So your nervous system gets confused and it wires the bond deeper. So we can break down the cycle.
Yes. So break down the trauma bond cycle. So basically, stress is relief, right? This is why calm moments feel so powerful. What stress looks like is walking on eggshells.
Oh, God.
Not knowing what mood they'll be in. For me, this is a big one. Tension before you speak. That tension can definitely cut like a knife. Your body is basically on edge, right?
All the time.
Then relief. Okay. They soften, they apologize, they're kind again. Things feel calm for a short time.
A very short time.
Yes. What your body is learning is this person caused the stress, but they also made it stop. So your nervous system associates them with relief, not necessarily danger. And that relief feels huge because the stress was so intense.
The second one is fear is comfort. It's why you turn to them even when they scared you. And what does fear look like? It looks like fear of losing them, fear of upsetting them, fear of being abandoned, or fear of conflict or silence when your body is in fight or flight mode. And then again comes the comfort. They reassure you, they hold you, they say the I love yous, and they promise to change. And what your body learns is when I'm afraid, this person is who I go to. Even though they're the ones that cause the fear, that's how that bond deepens.
The next one is chaos is closeness. So have you ever been in one of those real intense relationships?
Of course.
And why the relationship felt intense or deep is because chaos is closeness. And what chaos looks like is big fights. So, I mean, big blowout fights, right?
Yeah.
Emotional explosions, breakup, reunion, breakup, get back together, hot, cold behavior. Your nervous system is just severely overstimulated.
Yeah. I am never a fan of those break up and get back together. Yeah.
You're like, we break up, we ain't getting back together. Yeah.
So go on, sorry.
Then closeness comes. Okay. So emotional confessions, the makeups, it seems very passionate. There's a lot of passion and you feel this sense of I'm chosen again. Okay. So what your body learns is after chaos, we get close. We get really close. Yeah. So chaos becomes the doorway to intimacy, where intimacy is now you can't have it without there being some sort of huge chaos. And the same person caused the stress, the fear, and the chaos, like we just mentioned, and then becomes the relief, the comfort, and the closeness.
Right.
So your nervous system didn't learn, hey, this person's unsafe. It learned this person is how I feel better.
Yeah. And your body doesn't register it as danger. It's the registering it as an attachment. And that's the trauma bond.
Exactly.
You know, it's having that chaos and the explosion, the big fight, just to have that makeup sex. You know what I mean? It's like, it's cute to talk about, but when it is a daily reality or even a weekly reality, there is something to that needs to be recognized.
Yeah, you can have makeup sex with healthy conflict. Doesn't have to be.
Yeah, you don't need that, right? Mm-hmm.
the relationship, but
For sure.
essentially that is the trauma bond there. Next segment, we'll talk about the chemistry of a trauma bond.
Okay.
Trauma bonds are fueled by brain chemicals. It's not logic. If it was logic, we wouldn't even be talking about trauma bonds.
Right. There's two things that your brain really releases, and that's cortisol. And cortisol is your stress hormone. It's what floods your body when you're walking on eggshells, when you're anxious, when you're tense or waiting for something to go wrong. Cortisol stays high because your body is constantly bracing for that bad situation. You know, your physical health. I mean, your body is just tense, so it's releasing that cortisol. And the other one is dopamine, and dopamine is the relief plus the reward. Dopamine is released when the stress stops. So when they apologize and calm down and then show you that affection after hurting you, your brain gets a hit of relief and it releases that dopamine. And that relief feels rewarding to your body. The relief feels better because the stress was so intense. And that's what you're always looking for is that hit of dopamine.
Yeah, exactly. And it's why oftentimes people keep going back. You want that. You get addicted to it. That's that addiction part too.
Yeah.
The next one is oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. It's released during closeness, intimacy, reassurance, and emotional connection. So after the stress and the relief, oxytocin deepens the attachment, even to the person who caused the harm. Your body bonds through the cycle. So stress raises cortisol.
Okay.
Relief releases dopamine.
Yes.
Closeness releases oxytocin. And over time, our body bonds to the cycle, not because it's healthy, but because it's familiar.
That familiar feeling is the reason for that cycle, 100%. Every time the pain stopped, your brain got a hit of relief, and that relief felt powerful. Sometimes even euphoric. You know, your body learned to associate safety with the person that caused the harm. And I know this all too well, is having that bond with the person causing the abuse or causing the harm was so traumatic. And when you look to that person as a mentor or as somebody that should be leading you or keeping you safe, it's a strong bond that keeps you there.
What is that? What is that syndrome that they call like when you get captured? I mean, it's kind of different, but like
Stockholm syndrome.
Is that where you
fall in love with your captor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that just came to my mind, but it kind of, I guess, maybe somewhat made me think of it. Like the person who should be keeping you safe is the person who is also hurting you. And it's like maybe I don't know, the reverse, like the person who kidnapped you, then you start falling in love with. Like,
yeah.
That's got to be some sort of trauma bond in the reverse, maybe. In the upside down. I've been watching Stranger Things. It's the trauma bond in the upside down.
The next one is the high-low cycle, where trauma bonds are built in cycles. So we walk through the loop. Tension builds, emotional, verbal, or even physical harm happens, distance or fear, and then the apology, the affection, the closeness, and then that your body feels that relief and there's hope for a better future, a better day. And the highs feel higher because the lows are so low that intensity is mistaken for passion. Yes,
I think intensity does not mean passion, right?
No.
There are two totally different words, different meaning. you can have passion in your relationship and it not be so intense in a negative way. Like intensity does not equal passion.
Right. When you're feeling that intensity, it shouldn't feel like anxiousness and constant raised level of hypervigilance and awareness. I mean, it shouldn't feel that way.
Yeah. And it's also why like normalizing healthy relationships after abuse it's hard to do, and why sometimes healthy relationships can feel boring, right?
Yeah.
I know when we first started dating, I had a period of time where I was just like, felt like I was just waiting for something to happen. And it wasn't. And I was like, I know it's coming.
It's boring because we don't have that daily fight. We don't have the daily blowout. We don't have we don't have any blowouts, but we don't have that that constant battle where you're emotionally charged and you're always on edge, just waiting for something to happen.
Like what I do today. And it's also why calm feels unfamiliar, why sometimes when you're in that intense chaos, you're like, I feel alive. Trust me, all your cortisol and stress levels and everything that's going up, it's going to have serious health effects on you later on.
Yeah. The chaos shouldn't make you feel alive. The chaos should be giving you a reason to question where you're at and question your space, the space you're in right now. And peace can feel empty. Peace can feel empty when your nervous system is addicted to that intensity.
So make sure you pay attention to that cycle. If you're in the trauma bond and you know it, or you're not sure, the cycle that we mentioned, if you keep finding yourself in the same cycle, you're in Groundhog Day, you're just reliving it over and over again. That is a trauma bond. There's a cycle that goes with it. If you only experience those things one time and then things change and they actually get better, then hey, good for you guys. Yeah, that means you are both healthy and moving in a positive direction. Yeah. But if you're living Groundhog's Day and keep going through that cycle.
And look, relationships aren't going to be perfect. You're not going to have zero fights ever. You're going to have tiffs and conflict, but there should be a healthy conflict resolution when that moment arises.
Well, and you shouldn't feel like you're always walking on eggshells. Your body shouldn't be in fight or flight. You shouldn't always feel on edge. You shouldn't be asking yourself, how do I get through today? Those just aren't things you should be saying to yourself.
I agree. I mean, there's many times where even in my past marriage, I was like, well, we haven't spoken in 2-3 days, maybe if we can get through today, tomorrow will be better. It's just insane to live that cycle. And if that cycle, like you said, is constant, it's time to wake up. So the next one is why leaving feels impossible. Leaving a trauma bond doesn't feel like freedom at first. It feels like panic. It gives you grief or even withdrawal. Your body expects that cycle that we spoke about. It's wired for it. The absence of it feels unsafe because it's unfamiliar.
Yeah, your brain is screaming, go back, because that's what feels familiar. You're not missing the abuse, you're missing the regulation your body learned through it. And it's why people do go back, not because they're stupid, but because their nervous system is screaming for relief. It's hard to leave. It is. They remember that chemical dopamine hit they get in the cycle and the promise of the potential. And it can become, like we said, an addiction that you find yourself in and struggle so hard to get out of. Why do you think leaving is so hard for people? And have you seen somebody who's been in an abusive relationship that had a really hard time leaving and letting go of that?
Oh, good question. First part, yes, I've seen it. And why do I think that it's hard to leave? I think it becomes an addiction to that person. I think that when you're in an abusive relationship, uh, that chaos feels familiar. It feels like it's normal. That's your normal. That's what you're used to. If you've been in a relationship with this person for, a year to 5 years, whatever it is, and you guys have started to build this life together and the abuse is all the time or it's so prevalent, that is normal to you. And even though you know that it's not right, you know that it shouldn't be happening, it still feels so normal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, you feel like that's just how it is, or like you feel like there's no way out of it because your mind is so clouded that you can't really see the way out of it. And I think there's lots of, fear of abandonment in a lot of those cases. I know that was the case for me. And then other issues within yourself. You have to do a lot of self-reflection too, because as hard as it is to admit, some of what's happened is, you've allowed to happen. Not saying it's your fault, but it's
by not leaving, by not getting away, by not distancing yourself, you are choosing it.
Yeah. And I know it's hard. I mean, there's a lot of people who will tell you, well, just leave, or, I don't even understand why you're still there. And they probably don't, or have never dealt with something like this. I mean, it is hard. It is hard to leave and it can feel impossible, but it's not impossible. And once you realize that, and like the blindfold comes off your face, it becomes a lot easier, and you get there, little by little.
Yep. Little steps.
For patience.
One step forward each day.
Matthew doesn't have.
No, I'm not a doctor. I don't have patience. The next segment is shame and self-blame, and asking yourself, what's wrong with me?
Yes, I have asked myself that several times over the course of this healing journey. Like, what is wrong with me? Like, why do I, especially when you look back on past instances or past events, things that's happened, you're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What was I doing? Why?
You question yourself a lot, for sure.
Yeah. One of the most painful parts of trauma bonding, though, is shamed. The shame that you feel, embarrassment.
Yeah, you're embarrassed for staying. You know that you should have left, and you know that you should have left probably a lot sooner, and you start to self-judge, and you even feel crazy. You were being told to leave. But I know on the one hand, it's hard. And sometimes people say it who have never experienced a trauma bond, say it's easy for them to leave. But it's a lot harder than to leave than just to say it.
Yeah, and people who say it, I think their intentions behind saying it are sincere, and that person just wants to see you stop hurting. But a lot of times, people who say like, "Oh my God, just leave," they probably don't have experience with it. But like you said too, with the self-judging, there's a lot of that. You start judging yourself, and why? Thinking you're crazy, all that stuff, but you're not. Or part of the process.
where you're like, damn, I'm so dumb. Why did I stay? I should have just, you know,
I should have just left like they told me.
yeah, good luck. It's the self-judgment and the self-doubt can really play a big part in your wellness, your total
Yeah.
wellness, your mental health will take a huge hit if you're constantly beating yourself up.
Yeah, and feeling shame and things like that. It's normal, but don't stay there. You know, you can allow yourself to have the feelings. We're not saying don't have them, expect them. They're going to be there. Sit with them for a minute and let them go. Don't stay there. Don't sit with them forever. They don't define you. They're not the person that you are. It was just
Or
a
you
bad,
can be.
yeah, and it was just a bad experience you had to go through.
Right.
And a lot of people won't tell you how hard it is to leave something your body believes that you need to survive, because that's what a trauma bond is also to feeling your body is dependent on it. It feels like that's what it needs to survive. And you also remember, you didn't stay because you're a weak person. You stayed because your body was bonded. It's a chemical thing. It's not a logical thing. Like we've said before, if it was logical, we wouldn't even be talking about this stuff.
You'd just leave and it would be fine and you'd just move on.
You'd be like, oh, you did this? Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
Oh, you cheated on me and then are going to gaslight me? Oh, okay, bye.
Yeah. And it's the chemical, that brain, that
however that thing works.
It just keeps you stuck. It keeps you trauma bonded to that person. And like you, I know it all too well.
I feel like I don't, now that I've watched some severe trauma bonds, I don't feel like I had or have had one that severe. I wouldn't even say, I don't know. I guess the ones that I've seen recently with some of my friends, I'm like, wow, that for sure is a trauma bond. Like, it makes me look back on some of my situations and be like, yeah, I guess.
But that's that comparison game that you can't play. You cannot play the comparison game of, oh, they
have it worse than me.
Mine wasn't as bad as theirs.
Yeah.
Because it's still abuse. And neither of them are good.
No, not at all. But
neither of them are healthy.
Yeah. I just, with what I've witnessed recently, it's heartbreaking to watch. It really is. And I have a friend who, she was going through something similar. She's been able to distance herself more and is actually, working through it, and she's getting there, and I'm proud of her. But she had a friend of hers who they'd been friends for a long time, and they broke, and she was like, listen, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't be your friend. I can't sit here and watch this. And I am starting to feel that way with another friend, because it's hard. It's heartbreaking. It's hard to sit there and watch this person be constantly abused in any form.
Right.
And they stay.
They stay, and you have spent many hours talking to this person about the abuse and about leaving, and have even helped get this person out of the situation they were in, and yet they went back to it.
Yeah.
And it's excusable for you to let go of that, because you can't subject yourself to that drama, because that's all that's going to be in the future, is just more drama on top of drama, because they're in the same cycle.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you've got to choose your own peace over their drama. You have to.
Yeah. Drama doesn't, I don't want to say bother me. I'm just not as affected by it. It's just more for me. It hurts to watch someone that you care about just be shit on constantly,
and not choose their own peace, and not choose their own safety.
Especially when they're like a good person and the other person is a piece of crap.
Yep.
Anyways, I digress. Not a little off topic.
No, it's 100% on topic, because the reason that she stays and goes back after leaving is because of the trauma
Trauma
bond.
bond. Yeah. Thick.
Yeah.
Yuck.
And it's 100% real. I mean, the trauma bonds are real. I felt it with my biological mother, although obviously not a relationship, but a mother
Yeah, it was just a
mother
different,
son
it wasn't a
relationship.
romantic
Yeah. Right.
relationship. It was a parental relationship. And I mean, we talk a lot in the relationship sense, but it is just as common to have that with parents, like a child to a parent, because that's a bond that you're born with.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
I met you, we fell in love, or,
Right.
we have all this passion and stuff and intimacy. I mean, I saw you when we picked each other. I created you, or I helped create you, or you created me, helped create me, and just such different dynamics. So the bond can be
It's a different
very different.
dynamic, but the trauma bond can be very similar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to abuse. My abuse was physical, where I was obviously living with my mother, so I couldn't just get away until I was
Right.
15, and she was sent to jail for abusing me. But which is a great segue into the next segment of how trauma bonds break, how you can break these trauma bonds.
Yes. You need therapy.
You need therapy, and you need to be grounded, gentle, and honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Can't say that a bit enough.
Yes. You have, I don't want to say, I don't have a step one. I don't know, like, okay, here are the 5 things you need to do. It's possible. You can break free from them.
Yeah.
But you do need to be honest with yourself. You really have to do some self-reflection, look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, ground yourself, and be kind and be gentle.
Yep.
Just because you're being honest doesn't mean you're not being gentle with yourself either. And again, trauma bonds don't break with logic. There's nothing logical about this.
Yeah. It's all chemical.
Yeah.
All
If
brain.
it was, we would have been gone a long time ago. They're going to break with safety. That's safety of people around you, your environment.
Yes.
Your mental space, what you give your energy to, time. You have to have patience.
Time.
Unlike this one here who has no patience.
Time heals, and time allows
all wounds.
Time allows you to rebuild, and you have to be consistent.
Yes.
Show up for yourself every day.
Yes. Some days will be harder than others, but just stay consistent. Okay. Stay consistent.
One big thing is to distance yourself from that person, from the abuser, from whomever is the perpetrator of the abuse, right? No contact. We said it in the last podcast.
We've said it probably several times.
You have to go no contact. You have to distance yourself.
And no re-exposure cycles. Every time you re-expose yourself, it's just going to be that much harder to get yourself back.
And to break away.
Right. And even if you're like no contact, to where you've blocked them or something like that, and then you're going in and unblocking them from social so you can check their social medias, that's re-exposure. Even though you were not accepting contact from them, you are checking something that is just going to
leave them alone
a little bit.
Leave them alone and let them leave you alone.
Yeah. So no re-exposure cycles.
You make a good point. Checking up on socials and be an FBI investigative agent on their socials. Leave that shit alone.
Stop it. Don't do that. Yeah. It just hurts. It just hurts you.
Yeah.
It just hurts you and it sets you back. Just let it go. Be like Elsa and let it go.
Yeah. And find those supportive relationships.
Yeah.
Friends, family, whomever. Find those supportive relationships with people that are going to be there for you.
People that are going to help you regulate your nervous system back to normalcy. And those supportive relationships can also be therapy, trauma-informed healing therapy.
I went to therapy from my childhood trauma bond.
You went to therapy afterwards too, from your wife, ex-wife trauma. Not trauma bond, but
yep, I did. So that's where I was first exposed to therapy is because of my childhood abuse. And it really helped me realize that it wasn't normal, because that's what I thought was normal for childhood.
Mom's going to jail. You thought that was normal? All moms went to jail?
That was my aha
Like
moment.
all dogs go to heaven, all moms go to jail.
Yeah, that was my aha moment, that she went to jail. I was like, oh, maybe this isn't real. It's not normal.
Wow. Yeah, got the blinders pulled off on that one, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the bond fades as your body learns a new definition of safety. One day that urge will quiet and you realize you can finally breathe again. It's really like your body's just taking these deep breaths again, one day at a time, feeling a little bit better and better. But
expose yourself to healing and safety, because that will calm your nervous system. That you'll feel so much better when you can kind of just calm down and breathe. And
his ears.
Yeah, woosah. Yeah.
What movie was that?
Adam Sandler. I don't know.
No, it was Will Smith, Michael Lawrence. I think it was the first Bad Boys. He's in the police office. He's like,
yeah, I guess I don't remember.
The police chief, I think. Okay. Anyways.
No ideas.
In closing, if you've ever loved someone who hurt you, remember you're not broken. Your body did what it had to do to survive.
Yeah.
Healing doesn't mean forgetting them. It means your nervous system just no longer feels like it needs them.
Yeah. And little by little, you can take a deep breath and start moving forward with your life in a direction that you might have never thought was possible.
Remember, be kind to yourself and have patience. The bond didn't form overnight. It won't go away overnight either.
It's so true. It takes time. And again, if this helped you, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.
If you're having a hard time breaking free from your trauma bond, please comment or message us. This is what we talk about here, and we would love to help.
Go follow us on our other social medias, TikTok and Instagram. They'll be linked in the description of this episode. And next episode, we're going to be talking about reactive abuse and why victims are often made to look like the problem.
And we'll see you on the next one.
We'll see you on the next one, guys. Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us today. If you learned something and our stories resonate with you, subscribe to our podcast. That's a zero-cost way to support our channel. You can also follow us on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. They're linked in the description of the episode. We'd love for you to put any questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes in the comment section on YouTube. We'll read them all. Again, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your interest. And as always, we remind you to be the best version of yourself. See you next time on the Touch My Health podcast.